Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our wrestling podcast. So, without further ado, the following podcast is scheduled for one fall, and today's topic, overhyped and failed gimmicks part 3.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, right now when you're like,
bro.
I have my Lucky Jack, Triple Jack. I was like, oh, fuck's cuz stepping it up. And then he was like, coffee. I'm like, and caffeine. He's fucking gonna die. And then you were just like, no, it's non-alcoholic. Like
it's
totally
just coffee.
It's a lesson.
Yes.
Well, you know,
All
maybe
right.
it was Hogan's
All
Dick
right,
Brew
all
Coffee.
Yes,
over that,
that would be fine.
Well, guys,
Did you say
moving on to
Hogan's
the.
Dick Brew Coffee. Hogan's Dick Brew Coffee.
All right. Welcome to the O.W.P. This is our wrestling podcast. This is Dave along with Jess.
I guess.
Yeah, and Cuz.
Hey, good to be back, guys.
All right, it's about fucking time. Get your shit together. Bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. And now on to our topic today, overhyped and failed gimmicks, part 3, guys. It's going to be fun today. We got some good stuff for you. We are going to do it a little bit differently. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. But I'm kind of looking forward to that. So you guys have anything you want to say about any prior recordings that we've done so far, or the overhyped and failed gimmicks that we've done in the past? Because they're a lot of fun. At least to me, I think they're hilarious.
You can go ahead and say that I fucked up this episode because we group text and I said that I would do the research on this topic to take something off Dave's plate, and then apparently when I texted that, I meant to text just kidding, but I never hit send on that. So they thought that I was doing the research. So before the microphones went live, I asked Dave, what order are we going to do the overhyped and failed gimmicks? Like, what's the order you have? And Dave's like, well, I thought you were going to do that. And I was like, no, nuh-uh. And then they both were like, yaha. And I was like, oh, fuck, I did. So everyone can go fuck off, because at this point, what am I going to say?
You know
what?
You fucked up, Chance.
It'll still be. I feel like it'll still be good. It'll still work out. I think we got some good ones here. We got some good topics. Why don't we start on? And you know, Cuz, are you feeling better now? You know, you're not overwhelmed. You're not sneezy, baby.
I got my little Triple Jack, Lucky Jack cold brew coffee right here. I'm ready to roll.
Wait, what the fuck are you drinking right now?
It's called Lucky Jack Triple Jack cold brew coffee.
Sounds
so
like
I'm assuming there's Jack Daniels in it?
I mean, I wish that could go with Jack Daniels. That'd be pretty good, actually.
No, that sounds way better.
What the fuck? There's no Jack Daniels in it, honestly?
No, it's just a cold brew coffee.
What the fuck? Like, that's a ridiculous. Like, Jack Daniels should sue that company.
Let's
go totally misleading. Like right now, when you're like,
there's a lot of people.
Yeah, right now when you're like,
bro.
I have my Lucky Jack, Triple Jack. I was like, oh, fuck's cuz stepping it up. And then he was like, coffee. I'm like, and caffeine. He's fucking gonna die. And then you were just like, no, it's non-alcoholic. Like, that's
It's
totally
just coffee.
It's a lesson. Well, you know,
All
maybe
right.
it was Hogan's Dick Brew Coffee.
Yes,
over that,
that would be fine.
Well, guys,
Did you
moving
say
on to
Hogan's
the.
Dick Brew Coffee. Hogan's Dick Brew Coffee.
All right.
But how would he make it?
From his balls,
that's
brother.
hot.
I guess it'd be creamer. I guess it'd be more Hogan's Dick creamer fucking for your coffee.
Yeah.
Brewed him out.
Because if you had a dip. I know that
All right, I can't do that.
his penis.
All right,
Stop
No,
it.
it's rumored his penis is rumored to be as big as a beer can, but like it would get hot if you had to dip it in every fucking batch. That's hot.
creamer, brother.
I'm just thinking of penises at this point.
You got
Yeah,
some
that came out.
you
That
have
came
a
out so
problem.
wrong.
Yeah.
Anywho,
we're going to move on to the first one. The great thing about this topic, guys, is there's no shortage of gimmicks that just are terrible and they suck. But let's move on to the first one. Jess, I really believe when we started looking at these 5 minutes ago, I was like, wow, these are really fun. These are kind of funny. You forget about some of them, and then some, maybe you didn't even know about them, right? Let's get into the first one. We're going to talk about a wrestler named Paul Diamond. For those of you that don't know who Paul Diamond is, he had a pretty decent stint in WWF. Those of you that are wondering who the hell Kato was in the Orient Express back in around 1990. So Saito basically took a position in
91.
91, sorry. And wasn't going to wrestle with the Orient Express anymore. Like, well, who's going to wrestle? Well, how about this guy, Paul Diamond?
Paul Diamond was also part of the AWA in its dying years, too.
Of course, yeah. He had a little bit of a skip before that. And they're like, but Paul Diamond's not Asian. So they're like, well, put a mask on him and make him Kato.
But ironically, his partner in the AWA was Tanaka.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Which was part of the Orient Express originally was Sato and Tanaka, and then Sato left, and then Tanaka stayed, and then they got Kato under the mask, which was Paul Diamond. So the tag team kind of reunited, but nobody really knew it.
And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, Vince just loves those tag team.
Oh, fuck, and I forgot no one gives a shit on top of that. So anyway, go ahead.
But, but Vince loves those tag teams that are kind of like of those other foreign countries that could be heel work, and he did not want to get
putting a mask on someone and being like, and bada bing, bada boom, you're Asian.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that sounds like Vince McMahon to me. So,
Asian.
But the funny thing is, we're not here to talk about Kato.
Where's an American guy?
That was actually fairly successful on the heel run, right? We're here to talk about the gimmick of Max Moon. From 92 to 93, Diamond actually wore the gimmick of Max Moon, which actually was short for Maximilian Moon, right? He and another funny little side story on that, Diamond wasn't originally intended to play Max Moon.
This
Did you guys
shit
know
gimmick,
this?
they actually thought for this shit gimmick, they actually were like, we need a full name and we need a shortened name because that's how cool it's going to be. Are you fucking joking me right now?
Yeah, it's really bad. If
Max Moon is short for Maximilian Moon, pal. Really? Like you're kind of putting the cart before the horse, aren't you, Vince? I mean, we don't even know if it's going to work yet. Of course it's going to work.
We got to have the backstory. But anyway, he wasn't even intended to play Max Moon. A little person by the name of
in the future, we're gonna be talking to each other like, how many times did Max win the world title? Oh, you mean Maximilian? Oh, of course. What other Max am I talking about? Like, no. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, they totally thought this gimmick out backwards. Anyway, go ahead.
And I swear that was a real conversation that Vince probably had with Bruce Pritchard in the back. So
that's how he laughed. That's Vince's laugh.
So, but the gimmick was actually created for Conan, but Conan left after a backstage disagreement. You know what that backstage disagreement was?
Yeah,
the fucking Max Moon gimmick, bro. It's like,
no way.
Yeah,
he's like, he looked at it and he's like, oh no, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Conan was legitly by that point already. Conan was a big star in Mexico. He was selling out arenas and going into territories and promotion and revitalizing like AAA and CMLL and all that stuff. So he was a soap opera star legitly in Mexico. He actually was on a high rated soap opera and people loved him. Women humped the shit. Oh, he had Mexican like sweeties everywhere. Like, so, but in everyone's mind when they're a pro wrestler, this is legit. If I'm going to go to the States, making it in the States is working for the WWF. So he gets the shot, right? And he's like, fuck yeah. Like I got all the, little girls here in Mexico. Like I'm going to go to the United States and get famous in Hollywood and all that stuff, and I'm going to be a big star there. So he fucking gets here, and Vince is like, I got an idea. You're going to be Max Moon, and you're going to be kind of like an alien-ish astronaut, and you're going to wear this ridiculous, like, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man blue suit, and you're going to wear, like, a huge, like a metal armor to the ring, like you're a robot. And I know we've said things about Conan in the past, but this is the fucking smartest decision he's ever made, which is like, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. He withstood for this shit for like a month of TV tapings.
Well,
and
Jess,
the thing about
how do you know? Gosh, he could have made it great. It was incredible. I mean, let's look at this costume. I mean, let's.
Are you shitting on Conan right now?
It's fantastic. No. Conan could have made this work. Let's talk about this suit that was so elaborate and amazing.
As a kid,
we're talking about
as a kid. That's not even as cool as a kid.
When I was a kid,
I was kiddish.
So the suit itself that Conan said "fuck off" on was a very elaborate powder blue bodysuit with markings that were supposed to look like a circuit board and white protruding rings around the arms to make them look outlandish, I guess is the word, right? So It was so bad that Conan said, "Yeah, fuck off, I'm out." And the only reason why Diamond got this gimmick is because he was the only one that could fit into the suit this elaborate outfit with like wrist devices that shot out fireworks.
Cuz, would you agree that in 1992 their target audience were kids? Would you agree with that?
I mean, I liked a lot of the characters when I was a kid, so sure.
I'm asking a yes or no question. I'm not asking a politic question. Yes. So, okay. So the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
So you said to a kid, this is cool.
No.
Target demo.
When I was a kid, is what I'm saying.
So, okay. If it's just you, then I accept that answer. Because
No,
I think you were the only one. Because if it was really cool for kids, then it would have caught on because WWE was promoting the kids in '92. But it went down the drain faster than when I have to take a 2-part shit in the morning. Like I will flush the first one immediately because I'm like, oh fuck, round 2's coming. This flushed faster than that. Yeah. And I don't even know. And it's not even because Conan like left it. Like honestly, like Conan knew that the shit was done.
I was teasing you. I'm sorry.
No, I know you were, but I mean, like, he just like, he was like, wait a minute, like, this is the American dream. Like, he gets to America and he thinks like this is going to be a big deal. Like, oh yeah,
you just can't let this one go.
No, because like I will actually side with him on this, and I can't believe I'm saying it. Like, I would have done the same thing. It was super smart. So he had all that shit in Mexico going for him, and then he comes here. He's like, oh, yeah, I've made it in the WWF, and here we go. And then Vince is like, you're literally gonna sleep in shit and walk around in shit. Okay, like, no. So he literally, after the first couple TV tapings, the thing with this suit is when Paul Diamond started to do the character, he just walked out in the actual suit that he would wrestle in. But when Conan first started doing it, he was in the wrestling suit, but then they put a different, like another suit on him to make him look like a robot. So it's probably made out of plastic, but it was supposed to look like metal. And he was going to walk down to the ring like he was like a robot, take the fight. It took about an hour to take the suit off. And so he takes the suit off, then he wrestles, and then whatever. So Conan said, like, this suit was stored in LA. So no matter where Conan flew from to fly into the tapings, whatever city they were taping in, he had to meet the suit would ship separately from LA. So he would have to meet the suit somewhere, like it's a long lost friend, and then pick it up and then take it to the taping and lug this bullshit around until it was ready to go back in storage in LA. So Conan's like, I have all this shit going in Mexico. I'm just going to not show up. And he literally stopped showing up after like a month. He stopped showing up to tapings. Just stopped showing up. Didn't call and quit, just stopped showing up. Yeah. And they fired him.
Didn't say this sucked, didn't leave a note, nothing. He just no call, no show, bro. That's it. So, and then that's where, we get
Paul Diamond steps in.
We get Paul Diamond into it because he can actually fit into this monstrosity of a suit.
So are you saying that's it? He got the job because he could fit it in the suit?
Yeah. That's right.
Was he even the size of Conan? I don't even like. Maybe they've never stood next to each other.
Kato was pretty thick, bro.
I mean, he had a gut compared to Conan. Looked in great shape.
Yeah, Conan was like a kind of a shorter guy, not like short, but you know what I mean. Like he wasn't very tall, but Conan was like, why he was fucking built.
Yeah, he was built right here. He looked pretty buff back then, but this guy was 6'2", 240 pounds. Paul Diamond.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy too.
So. And I hate to say it, the only person who looks worse in the story right now, the only person who looks worse,
it's fucking funny.
Who looks worse in the story is Terry Taylor. You know why? Because who does Max Moon get the build up against? Fucking Terry Taylor, yeah. Diamond.
But he was like Scary Taylor.
He gets to wrestle and defeat Terry Taylor in a series of house show matches during the rest.
It was after the Red Rooster. It had to have been. Yeah, it was way after the Red Rooster.
Yeah, does it matter? Terry Taylor's getting shit on by Max Moon. I just think that's hilarious.
To Terry Taylor fans, it matters a lot.
It's Terry Taylor, the man you shit on, apparently. So
all 10 of them.
And otherwise, his biggest victories were against Rick Martel, the Repo Man, but they were both by disqualification. He never really got those guys clean. And then on December 7th, 92, he was in an episode of Primetime Wrestling. He teamed up with Owen Hart and Coco Buer with High Energy. That was terrible, but I don't care. I still laugh when I hear that playback of Coco Buer talking about high energy. I mean, this shit's hilarious.
Who did they fight? Who did they face?
The Beverly Brothers and the Genius.
Oh shit! Did they lose? They lost.
Yeah. Genius. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They lost.
Throwing out frisbees and shit. No. Let's see. They won the match. Moon actually pinned the Genius, bro.
Whoa!
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was fucking on his way then.
And Macho Man was pissed, bro. Randy was really
What?
upset. You don't pin my brother.
Yeah, he was pissed off. That's why it ended right there.
Yep.
So Max Moon, because of the bookers, committed career suicide because he pinned the Genius. And Macho Man was like, not gonna fly.
Yeah, not gonna have it, brother.
Wow.
So
it's breaking news on this podcast.
There you go. Yeah, that's how it happened. Yeah, I talked to Savage about it directly last year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's terrible. Max Moon wrestled and lost an Intercontinental Championship match to former tag team partner, longtime rival Shawn Michaels on the very first Monday Night Raw, by the way. And the loss to Michaels.
He did?
He did.
Max Moon was on the first Monday Night Raw. What the fuck is happening here right now? How do I not remember that?
I don't know, but you remember how bad the first Raw was. I mean, just in general, that little freaking.
It really was. Like the first year of Raw was fucking trash, but everybody remembers it.
But people loved it. It was like, oh wow, we're watching
Yeah.
wrestling at 9 at night. How cool is that, right?
Wasn't the main event Damien Demento and The Undertaker?
Right, maybe. I don't know. I could look it up. So,
Jesus, it did not go up. It went all downhill from that.
I remember seeing
It
Max
really
Moon a
did.
lot when I was a kid.
yeah,
And
then
Max
he
Moon got
began to-
pinned by Shawn Michaels. He pinned him.
No. Michaels beat him. Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Oh, could you
Yeah,
imagine?
Super kick?
Mm-hmm.
It was the other way around.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh.
What
yeah.
the hell was that?
Well, no, he actually won.
At that
I
point,
didn't remember. He goes, I actually won the IC title. I'm like, I don't even fucking remember any of that.
He's all, actually, he was a heavyweight champion for a year.
Oh, fuck, what? When?
He beat
Yeah,
Hogan.
there
He
you
pinned
go.
him right in the middle of the ring.
That's
Yeah, Mania 8. You're right.
with his own leg drop finisher. Yeah. So this begins
That's unrealistic.
This begins the
That's
downtrodden
unrealistic,
of
Dave.
Max
Why do you gotta do
Moon.
that?
He begins losing to mid-carders like Skinner. He appeared on one pay-per-view only in the 30-man elimination match at the 93 Rumble. He was in the ring less than 2 minutes, and then in late February of same year, his contract was expired and it was never renewed.
Wait, time the fuck out. He was in the Royal Rumble 93?
No, not the Royal Rumble. He was in it says the 30-man elimination match. I guess that is the Rumble.
That's Royal Rumble in 93?
That's what it says. Yeah.
What the fuck? How do I not remember Max Moon in the Royal Rumble?
He was in the
I'm gonna
ring
go back
less
and
than
watch
2
that shit.
minutes. Go look it up. That's what it says. That's
Fuck,
what
wow.
we're looking at. Yeah, that's the research, buddy.
I don't remember him making it to any pay-per-views at all. Like
That was the only
telling you.
pay-per-view he appeared on.
He main evented WrestleMania that year. He won the Royal Rumble and pinned Hogan.
Oh my god.
That's true.
Beat me,
It
Moon
happened,
brother.
bro. Yep. So, and that's really not only the end of Max Moon, it's also the end of Diamond in the WWF at that time. By the
That's
way,
a shame.
before he moved on to ECW.
I mean, I can't even comment on that. That's just way too much overload. But that, I mean, I guess. Fuck. Wow. I guess so. His WWE career ended with Max Moon. Okay. Max Moon just shit the bed and he's like, I'm out of here.
I love how they're like, Conan didn't want this, so we're going to give it to you. Oh, since it sucks, we're also not going to renew your contract. Have a nice day.
Yeah, like what happened to my Kato mask? Nobody knows. Oh, okay, bye. Like, and that's it.
Yeah, like the guy had talent. You couldn't find something for him. I find that just very interesting because when he was working in there with the Orient Express, he was working. I mean, he did a good job, and he was a big guy. You know, Vince liked big guys, and he could get around in there. I don't know. It just seems weird. Like it wasn't that they had a plethora of talent in freaking 90, 92. Like, what did they really have? I don't know.
I wanted
just find it
Conan.
interesting.
I always wanted Conan.
He never got him, did he? He never did. He got those house shows. and that was it.
Hogan.
There was a famous story of Bruce Pritchard actually after WCW, I think, collapsed, or maybe right before.
Conan
it was after
called
the
in, right?
Radicals. Bruce Pritchard told it on his podcast,
Yeah.
where Conan called him and he said, "Hey, it's K-Dog," and Bruce didn't really know who that was, which I think is a lie. And he was just like, I knew him just as like Conan,
As
the
Conan,
Mexican
yeah.
store Conan. And he called and he's like, hey Bruce, it's K-Dog. And he's like, I don't know what a K-Dog is. Send your tape to this address or whatever and give me a call. Like, and that's what he basically did. He treated him like Bruce Pritchard knew exactly what he was fucking doing. The thing is they didn't want to fucking hire Conan, which I don't blame them. So
I was going to say, best move they ever made.
I don't know why Bruce can't just say that and be like, you know what? We just didn't want him. There's no way Bruce didn't know who K-Dog was because Conan, I'll admit, when he was part of the Wolfpack, people knew who he was. He was getting pops.
You know why he made up that story? Because he didn't want to get balled out on his own podcast like Conan likes to do to people. I just heard you saying things, dog, and didn't
that's
like
before
it.
Conan did his podcast, though.
Conan, you can come on my podcast any fucking time, dickface.
Yeah. Like, who cares? Like, just say, yeah, you know what?
And I'll
like,
say right to
we
your
didn't
fucking
want him.
face. I hate you.
I played a joke
piece
on
of
him. Like,
shit.
I knew who he was, and he called, and we obviously hired everybody else under the sun that worked with him, and we didn't hire him. So that means we don't fucking want you. Like, I don't know why you can't say that. Anyway, I don't. Whatever.
I say I don't fucking want him either. But he's welcome to come on. He's welcome to come on and fucking try to, talk shit.
Yeah, I would not want him in my promotion to do a sloppy somersault into a clothesline. That's just something I don't want.
Worst move ever. Oh, it's so gross.
And his shit slop wrestling that he did. Like, I wouldn't want that either. So I don't know why.
I love how we had a setup on Max Moon and Paul Diamond, and it turned into a Conan Ray.
He was Conan's connect. This is a legit conversation. He was connected to this fucking character.
It's true. It's just we went off on a major Conan tangent because we just hate him so much. That's the one thing we agree on wholeheartedly is we hate that piece of shit.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look out. Carefully, you missed the dinky.
I beg your pardon?
Something. Oh.
There we go. Has him in the cradle. 2 and no. So very, very close.
When does Max show his moving, Vince?
He just did. I think in a matter of speaking. Ooh. Max Moon. Look at that. Come on, kick.
We hate that piece of shit.
He's a shit wrestler.
Anywho, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to another. It's definitely not original. Max Moon was definitely original. This is more of a ripoff, right? We're gonna talk about right now. This gentleman trained under Killer Kowalski at the Power Plant 92 before he got into WCW, and then we had this major uproar of excitement with Hulk Hogan and, Savage and feuding with Flair and Vader. And leading up to that, Hogan keeps talking about the ultimate surprise. So when you guys hear the ultimate surprise, who's coming? Who do you think is coming?
Andre the Giant.
Oh, no, you're wrong. The Ultimate Warrior, right?
Goldberg.
Yeah.
Oh,
Goldberg.
okay.
Goldberg. Was
he born yet?
Goldberg was the baby. So anyway...
3 years
you're thinking,
broke,
here we go, the ultimate surprise. We got the silhouette of a man with long hair and tassels on his arms. And of course, we're like, oh, okay, cool. But instead, on March 19th at Uncensored, we basically get the fucking Renegade, bro. We get the Renegade, who is also known as Richard Wilson, right?
What's his name? What?
Richard Wilson. So you definitely got to change that name, huh? You can't wrestle as Richard Wilson, can you? That just sounds like my next door neighbor or something. I don't know. But anyways,
that's a better gimmick. That right there is a better gimmick than the fucking Renegade.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, my neighbor Richard Wilson. Hey guys. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I'm a good wrestler.
Like,
yeah.
Hey guys, I just want to do good, and I just want to wave to you in the morning when you go to work, and I'm watering my lawn, and you're wondering what the fuck does that guy do for a living, and all that stuff. I just want that, but instead, Hulk was jealous of the Warrior and never fucking getting to beat him after WrestleMania 6. So Hulk's like, it's just so fucking stupid.
Like Hulk Hogan lane again.
What I'm going to create a Warrior. And I'm
Hogan was
him.
so stupid. And when Bischoff tries to defend Hulk and some of this stuff, I'm like, just fucking give it up. Like, we all have videotape, right? We all can go back and see this fucking abortion that was the Renegade, and not only that, the abortion that was fucking Uncensored 95, which is arguably one of WCW's worst, not even arguably, who can argue with me? It's one of their worst pay-per-views ever, was Uncensored 95. It was a total fucking dumpster fire. And the whole 3 weeks to a month leading up, it would be Hulk and Savage cutting a promo, and it was Hulk and Savage versus Vader and Flair. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
No. It was Hulk against Vader in a strap match. That's what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry, but what I have here is Hulk and Savage were in the main event feud with Flair and Vader, and that's when he kept. And you're right, and Hogan was scheduled to face Vader in a strap match in the main event, and he kept hyping the ultimate surprise. Not
only did the main event end with Hulk beating Flair. What? Flair wasn't in the match, you say, Jess? You're fucking right. It was Hulk versus Vader for the WCW title in a strap match. And instead of Vader didn't want to lose to Hulk and Hulk didn't want to lose to Vader. So they ended up somehow having Flair interfere in the match, and Hulk strapped the strap to him, to Flair at one point, and tagged all four corners and beat Flair to beat Vader in the main event of Uncensored. So as much as I want to defend Hulk, and as much as I am a Hulkamaniac, what the flying fuck were they thinking? Even just I know Hulk had a big contract and he had creative control and all that, but nobody said, look, there's got to be something else we could do, anything else we could do except for that ending that you just proposed to us right now. There's got to be anything. I mean, anything. Like Flair could start masturbating live in the middle of the ring, and I would have been like, okay, over what I told you just happened. I would have literally favored that. I'd be like, you know what? It's kind of weak, but Flair wants to.
Well, Jess, these are the times, honestly, where you wish you had a VKM. You wish you had a Vince and be like, no, this is what we're doing. You're going out on your back. Yeah. Fuck off. It's my promotion. You don't have that here. That was the biggest problem with WCW forever. Nobody wanted to lose, and no booker had a fucking backbone.
It's a big leap from missing. I guess you're right, but like the missing link, like it's like a Grand Canyon of difference between.
Oh, they could like wrestlers could take the biggest leap ever.
It's not like just Hulk made the wrong choice. Like, I'm going to beat Vader clean, and then that happened. Then I would be like, God, Vince was there. Vince might have said, you know what? Hey, Vader needs to beat you here because that's going to get heat in the next pay-per-view. We could rematch. We can make some money off it. Maybe I could understand that. But like the far leap of they're talking to each other. And they're like, well, Terry has all the creative contract. Terry, what do you think? And he's like, okay, brother. I don't want to lose.
Brother.
And Vader's like, I don't want to lose either. And then Hulk's like, okay, Rick will lose. And then Bischoff's going to be like, oh, okay, so it'll be a triangle match then. No, it's going to be me versus Vader. Okay, well, I mean, how's Flair going to fucking make, like, we're going to DQ in a strap match? That's kind of weak. No. I'm going to put the straps on Flair's wrist, and I'm going to tag 4 corners and win the match that way. What? Wait. And nobody said, like, look, seriously, we're not fucking doing that. Nobody said that. Come on.
You know, I mean, because it's WCW, bro.
Yeah, we want to make the money. Like,
I
don't understand. Like, I'm a Hulk fan, but like, Jesus, not this way. Like, no,
hey, Jess,
no.
Like, and then going into it, you know how stupid that is, right? You know what sounds even stupider? Because Wilson, under the ring name Renegade, was billed by Hogan as, quote, the man that's going to bring Hulkamania into the 21st century.
I've ever met in my life. This is not the Ultimate Warrior, Ric Flair. This is not a surprise that I just conjured up out of nowhere, brother. This is the ultimate swerve for you, Mr. Flair and Vader, and for all my Hulkamaniacs. There's 100 guys.
Of course.
So, yeah.
And leading all the promos leading up to the match was like, it was Hulk and Jimmy Hart cutting the promo. And then like, there was like, fog, like falling behind them. And you just saw the silhouette, like a shadow of a guy with tassels on and long arms. And Hulk kept saying like, we have the ultimate surprise. We have the ultimate whatever. And he kept using that word. So people are actually thinking like, oh shit, like they're going to get the Ultimate Warrior. Like, fuck, they're going to get the Ultimate Warrior in WCW. That would have been a decent deal, more than a decent deal back then. And so I don't know. I didn't research deep enough, apparently, obviously, for my admission at the beginning of the show.
That's all good.
I can't remember if they approached the Warrior about it, and Warrior said, I want like all this money. And he asked for like this ridiculous amount of money. And they said, no, fuck it. Or if they didn't, I can't remember. For some odd reason, I remember an interview, and it might have been with the Warrior, where Warrior's like, no, they never, ever approached me about that, ever. So they just made it up.
They talked to him later, and he appears later. We're going to talk about that briefly, too.
Yeah, well, years later, but I mean, during the Monday Night Wars. But I mean, like, so if I remember correctly, Warrior himself said they never asked me to be the Renegade / Warrior character. They just went on TV and just teased me.
Oh, I got it right here. I see it. Well, here you go. I found it. So basically, we'll get into it real quick, but ultimately it was the ultimate disappointment, right? So after that debut, the Renegade acquired Jimmy Hart as his manager for whatever fucking reason why, I guess because Hogan's with him. And he defeated several heels in the process.
He won the TV title from Arn Anderson. He won the television title from Arn Anderson.
Yeah, that's where we're going. He defeats Arn Anderson on June 18th of 95. For the world television title. I'm with you, bro. It's bullshit. No one should be Arn Anderson ever, by the way. So at the Great American Bash, his first and only championship, right? So they put a title on him to see what happens. He also defeated Mr. Wonderful at Bash at the Beach.
That match is so fucking great. Let me tell you why. Because you could see Orndorff we're kind of steering off. The Renegade was awful. He was an awful worker as well. Richard White, what was his name? Richard Johnson? What was his fucking name?
Doesn't matter.
Richard Wilson. Richard Wilson.
Yeah.
Like he was not ready. In his defense, he was not ready. I don't know how Hulk chose. He looks like the Warrior brother. Let's put the paint on him. Like it was really that fucking stupid. And they misled you thinking the Warrior was going to be and actually if you go back and watch Uncensored 95, when they play his music at the end of the match, people go nuts in that arena because they legitimately think the Warrior,
like the Warrior's music. Yeah.
Well, and he runs out and people are still cheering because they don't really know it's not him because he runs out so fast. But then by the end of the run in, they're like, oh, this fucking guy. Like you could tell people were like, who the fuck is this jackass? Like, yeah, it was so bad. And they tried so hard.
People were like, oh, maybe it's the Warrior just out of shape, blah, blah, blah. But then a few months later,
not even a few months later, 5 minutes later, Dave. Jesus Christ.
He appears in I'm saying he appears in wrestling magazines. So let me get it out before you fucking say it's wrong. And
Dave,
he dispels the belief that Wilson was actually him. And as a result of that, the momentum of Renegade, if you can have any, was basically halted at that point. And he
I'm
lost
telling
the
you,
world title.
it was done 2 minutes later.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was. I don't know if it ever started, to be honest with you. But he lost the world television title to Diamond Dallas Page at Fall Brawl in September. And then he lost to Orndorff for the main event. And, like less than 2 minutes, he's getting squashed. He lost to Kevin Sullivan. And then Jimmy Hart turns on Renegade before
go back and watch the Bash at the Beach 95 match against Renegade against Orndorff. You could tell Orndorff gets so fucking frustrated in there because this guy's just it's not Renegade's fault, right? He was thrown into this and he's gonna what are you gonna say? No? What money would they have thrown at him? I'm gonna lowball it and say they gave him $150 a year. $150 a year for a nobody in 95, right? Like, isn't that good money? It is, right? Like, so it was probably even like $200,000 a year, maybe, or some stupid shit like that. Like, and he's fresh out of the power plant. How would you not take that money? So I don't blame him, but he just was not ready. And he fucking like Orndorff is like they're out in the sun on the beach in Bash at the Beach 95 because it was Eric like that failed, and then Bischoff still wanted to do Sturgis like the next year, which is fucking mind-boggling to me. But not just for like financial reasons, but just because it's fucking outside and it's dumb. It's not even a wrestling setting. It's not like an outdoor stadium. It was actually on the fucking beach. So if you threw them off, which Renegade threw Orndorff off the mats onto the sand, and Orndorff got pissed because sand sticks to fucking wrestlers who put baby oil on, right?
Yep.
So Orndorff gets in all pissed off, and you see him fucking stiff the Renegade a lot in that match. And Renegade just wasn't going along. So Renegade, I don't know if Renegade pinned him or won by DQ, but afterwards Orndorff fucking pulled him back in the ring and pile drove him. And you could tell that Renegade was trying to resist, and he pile drove him anyway. And the crowd actually went fucking bonkers, like because they're just like, God, this guy sucks. I felt bad for Renegade, but at the same time, I'm like, God, like they literally fed him to the wolves, pretty much, like the wrestling wolves, like the veterans who were like, this guy fucking sucks, I'm gonna stiff him. Like it sucked. It sucked for Renegade, but like, God, this gimmick was fucking awful.
I mean, from
96,
98, he was basically put as a jobber going forward. He lost to Luger. He returned and he had no face paint anymore. He was replaced with trunks and armbands. He teamed up with Joe Gomez and the Rock and Roll Express. They lost to the Four Horsemen. Just getting tossed. Just getting tossed.
What a mess.
Yeah, right. He was in the World War III Battle Royal, but we all know the Giant wins that one, right?
Oh, I thought Renegade won that one.
Yeah, he was close. He was close. Wow. He was in there for like 2 minutes. Okay, probably.
I'm learning a lot of shit.
Yeah, he remained a jobber, competing sporadically on Nitro, Thunder, Saturday Night, and then he had a 5-month hiatus. He just kind of left and came back, and he came back and lost to Super Calo, and then still utilized as a jobber for the rest of the 97, 98 years. And it was used for a stunt double for the actual Ultimate Warrior during his 98 WCW run. So he wrestled his final match on December episode of Nitro. He lost to Wrath, and then he was released. And the very, very sad thing, he was so depressed about his release, and nobody was wanting to pick him up. He actually shot himself in the head on February 23rd, 99. He was 33
That music
years
means
old.
it's time for Renegade!
This guy's all right. He's normal as can be.
Tough stuff, man. I mean, like you said, Jess, they pulled him up too quick, and they treated him like a rag doll and thought he would shoot into the stratosphere based off the Warrior gimmick. It's just all bad ideas. I mean, I hate to say it, if I was in charge of that stuff and had quote unquote creative control, I would feel pretty guilty about this situation. I don't know if anybody else does, but
Well, I mean, did he leave a note that said he killed himself because of this? I would kill myself because of this, to be honest. But
he killed himself because he got released, and honestly, he was released because he had a shitty gimmick. I mean, who knows? I mean, and at the same time, Jess, you could also argue that he never worked on his craft and he was just going to ride this out. You know, anybody that was decent, like, you know, everyone gets bad gimmicks, but if you can work in there, they'll find something for you. I mean, Owen Hart had some rough bouts, but Owen Hart always found a way to make it work, right? Stone Cold had some rough shit. Like, they paired him with the Blondes because they just didn't know what to fucking do with those guys.
You don't even need to go to the top shelf on that. Terry Taylor got handed a shit hand, right? Like, it's still fine.
But he lasted a long time, and he got picked up by several places.
What the fuck? I think a sheep died. But he found a way to make a living in pro wrestling. Like, I mean, I'm not making light of anybody who kills himself because I don't understand that. I mean, it's easy to get mad and be like, well, whatever. If you want to kill yourself, good, go. But I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what severe depression means or whatever. But at the same time, like, I guess. I mean, I think he would have killed himself no matter what. Like, but at the same time, like, this did not help him. Like, it was just a shit gimmick from the beginning. And Hulk said dumb shit for even trying it. Like, just being stupid. Like, it was just all bad from the beginning. Poor Renegade. Yeah. He did. Hulk's a murderer. He's a goddamn murderer at this point.
Brother, I created a monster. Embarrassment.
Just job him out, brother, and
gotta take out the
job him out, brother, and God willing, he'll kill himself, brother. And like
this will never release now,
brother.
Oh, brother, I hate the N words, brother. Like,
this is all remaining in the archives forever.
That's brother, I'm gonna sleep with my best friend's wife. All
right.
Oh man.
Let's keep it rolling here. We're gonna talk about
paraplegics deserve it, brother. They had it coming. He said all this stuff, Dave. Don't get mad at me. I'm the Hogan fan.
Newsflash for you guys: giggling for no reason and coughing into the mic is not something that people want to fucking listen to. You know, I'm just telling you.
Wait, who did that? Was that Cuz? Was that Cuz? Yeah. I agree with you, Dave. What the fuck, Cuz? Let me make Hogan terrible jokes on my own without you coughing. Oh, the whole
so ridiculous,
brother.
Oh, brother. I don't want my daughter dating an N-word, brother. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? What's wrong with him?
Yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with him?
I don't know. What's that?
Or maybe more importantly, what's wrong with me for him being my childhood hero? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah. You have issues.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Like he covers all the bases. He just fucking strokes all the bases.
You guys ready to move on to the next one? Or are you just
brother.
Fuck this podcast a little longer?
No, brother.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Jesus. I swear, like, Cuz is tapping a mustard packet for 5 minutes.
I don't know what he's doing.
It's crazy that you hear that. I'm being so quiet and slow with that.
You're not at all. That's ridiculous.
The slower you are, the louder it is, bro. It's like trying to sneak into the house and doing, you know.
What are you opening? What is that?
It's a little Mexican candy.
He's got a Werther's original.
It's got Conan on it. His picture on it.
He's got candy
Max
from
Moon.
Conan and Max Moon.
Candy.
He's like,
Jesus Christ,
right on the microphone and shit. All right, let's move it on forward. So we got a guy that we all kind of adore. I think we respect this man, and he's a man's man, by the way. But we're talking about William Regal. But we're not talking about William Regal in whole. We're talking about William Regal on his initial appearance into the World Wrestling Federation. This is 1998, and he actually comes in on June 29th of said year on an episode of Raw is War. He defeats is it Droz or Droz? What is that?
Droz.
Droz.
It's
via
Droz. How the fuck do you not
with
know?
a Regal stretch. But here's the thing. Leading up to all this, we have Regal coming in as the man's man. He's the man's man, right? All these vignettes. I'm sure Jess is going to go off on these. But we have to tell you, a little bit of the back stuff. I mean, Regal had a tough go, man. His bio is quite impressive, incredible, scary. I don't know how he's still alive, to be honest with you, when you hear about what happened to this guy and what he did to himself for years and years. But in spite of all that, he still has a very illustrious career and definitely a Hall of Fame career. He's one of the best grapplers you could think of. He's got a different style, different from everyone else, because he's more of that European style, if you will. I guess they kind of call it catch, is it catch wrestling, that kind of thing, right? But when he gets to WWE, he's the men's man, right? And it's interesting because he was suffering from an addiction to Renutrient. I'm sure you've heard a lot about this, right? He twisted his ankle in a match against Rhino.
It's like a diet drink.
Yeah, it's a diet drink. He aggravated this injury falling in the bathroom, but I think he was on Renutrient the whole time. And he breaks his ankle and his leg because he shifts in that bathroom the wrong way. It's so weird. And he was on the Renutrient the entire time, pain medication and Valium. So he has to get healed. And then he wasn't seen on WWF until he returned that fall. And that's when the man's man builder lumberjack style looking gimmick created by who created this gimmick, guys?
Vince Russo.
Yeah.
I wonder who.
So he
We're
was
gonna
signed.
swerve him, pal.
He was signed and then he got injured instantly, never debuted, and then when he healed, he debuted. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and that's that's based on the image of the brawny man. Whenever I heard the man's man, I always thought of
Trojan he had like a lumberjack,
he
had a lumberjack flannel on. He had like jean shorts on. He was like
chopping
all
wood.
The vignettes. He was like chopping wood, so he's supposed to be like a real man's man,
hard hat,
which is the total opposite.
I love how squeezing your own orange juice makes you a man.
But not even that. Like think about the wrestler this is the fucking huge example as to how Vince Russo has fucking no clue as to what pro wrestling is, right? Like, when you bring a wrestler in, you should watch the style that they wrestle with, their style, and then be like, okay, this character will fit that. Regal was a super like technical when he first debuted in WCW, which is the first time I saw him, and he was TV champion in like '93 in WCW. I thought he was boring as shit because I didn't appreciate really good like. That was I love people like Steve Austin in '93 because like they were pro wrestling. Like they would do flashy moves, but then they would calm it down with where to hold and stuff. And they
would brawl when needed.
Regal was really like grapply. And like as TV champion, his whole thing in WCW was like he would take people to draws and like like a 30-minute draw, and that's how he retained his TV title. He had more 30-minute draws, I think, than everybody ever like in the history of wrestling. And like so that was like his thing. So that was boring as well. Watching a 30-minute match period, especially in WCW in '93, is like, God, please, are you trying to put me to bed? So like that was like his thing in WCW. So I didn't really appreciate the intricate skills that he had. I didn't really appreciate him until I read his bio, and then that year, remember when he beat Punk in the King of the Ring finals and he was King of the Ring that year? Then I really realized like, God, fucking Regal's really good. Like he's excellent. So it took me a while to really warm up to Regal. So you're Vince Russo. And Jim Ross, who's head of talent relations at the time, is like, we're going to bring in Steven, my God, Regal. And so they bring him in. And Russo doesn't watch any tapes of him, because if you watched any tapes of Regal, you would not be like, let's put a man's man gimmick on him. Because when the guy gets in the ring and he's a man's man, you probably want him to be like a brawler, right? And he'll beat you with the bear hug. I mean, that's boring as shit, what I'm saying right now. But I mean, like that's what you would think, or he's got to do some kind of move that he crushes you with or anything like. But so you look at Regal's style, and then you're like, we'll bring him in as the man's man, like the brawny paper towel guy. He's going to be like a fucking tough man's man lumberjack. And like, then he gets in the ring and Regal's like, fucking go behind, waist lock, putting his foot in the back of your knee and putting you down on the ground, front and face lock. That's not how a man's man wrestles. So like from the beginning, it was like, this is not going to work. Like just when I first saw the vignettes, I was like, that's not Regal. Like Regal is like, I hate to say it, at the time I was like kind of long form boring-ish, like to a certain extent. Like that's he needs 20 minutes to warm up, which Gorilla Monsoon used to make that joke back in the day about Greg Valentine. God, the guy needs like 20 minutes just to get warmed up and then he gets going. That was Regal. Like you needed to watch Regal for like 10 minutes in the ring and then he would finally get going and start like, doing higher impact moves and stuff. You don't put a man's man gimmick on a guy who's like a mat grappler. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Like, so already from the beginning, this fucking angle was doomed. Just fucking doomed. Yeah. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
No worries. I mean, then that's really what it was. I mean, and just to kind of straighten out the timeline a little bit, he did actually debut in '98, just as Regal.
Like on dark matches, right?
And then he wrestled against Tiger Ali Singh.
Yeah, dark matches.
And then they were like, this motherfucker's out of shape. And then that's when they sent him to Dory Funk. And that's when he broke his ankle, like on the last day after he twisted it against Rhino.
So and then he was out for a while, and then he came back as man's man.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Okay.
And then, basically he's made his full-time debut in 98. He faced X-Pac and the open round of the tournament for the vacant WWF Championship at Survivor Series. It was a double count out because, X-Pac and Regal are not going to win the fucking titles. So just get out of here with that.
What?
Yeah. Oh, they're so good.
They are.
Regal then began a feud with The Godfather, but he was taken off television soon after because he checked into rehab in January of 99. And then he was released by the WWF in April. I love how they got him clean and they're like, get the fuck out. Yeah.
Well, he had, if you read his biography, it's actually a really good read. He was he was fucked up, dude. He was really fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where basically that gimmick died.
He took Bischoff treated him well. He even said in his book that Bischoff didn't want to let him go in 95, 96, 97. So Bischoff kept trying to bring him back. And you would see he went from wearing the regular underwear tights to the singlet tights because he was so fat in his gut. And he would go out there, and that was when he fucking took Bill Goldberg to task. He just Bischoff loved Regal, and just didn't want to let him go. But after a while, it just got to a point where Bischoff's just fucking, I can't do this anymore. So he left, and then he went to WWF.
He was a fan of Regal's style, I think. He really
Bischoff loved Regal for whatever reason. I don't mean that in a rude way, but at the time, Bischoff was dealing with so much more shit. NWO was getting huge during the Monday Night Wars. It's weird that he kind of is no, I want to keep Regal here. It's odd.
I think he probably saw him as somebody you could feed to the NWO or feed to Hogan or something. It would have been. Good.
I think he liked Regal and he respected. I think he respected Regal's background too, because Regal was it's going to sound funny, but he was a hooker. And not a prostitute, but the style of wrestler that he was in England was a hooker, meaning they would actually get legit regular civilians from the crowd, and they had to know how to hook you and pull you in and beat you, because they would get legit. They would go to bars and they would just wrestle, and then they would get on the mic and be like, is there any fucking real person here that thinks they could come in and do better than me? And so you would get these drunk fucking legitly just civilians that would come in the ring, and they had to be what they call hookers to beat them. So they knew all these different pressure points and holds, and they get all these drunk fat fucks in there, and they would just fucking take them down and hook them and just fucking squeeze them until they tapped out or whatever. And so he legitly did that. So I didn't know that until I read his biography, how good he was in that sense. To where Regal's a legit fighter. He can, if you get in a situation with Regal, he could tie you the fuck up and make sure that you don't cause any damage. He's really a fucking lethal guy.
You know what, too? Like you said, how he didn't appreciate him till later. It's true. I laughed at the real man gimmick when he debuted as that gimmick, but man, I really did appreciate some of the matches with RVD and Jericho. Those were some good matches, man.
Later for sure, yeah.
You had to appreciate that.
When he got his head straight and he came back and he was 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
He was really good. Really good. And then of course he was commissioner with Tajiri, and that was really funny.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But Regal, then you started really watching Regal going God, this guy's footwork in there is second to none. And his grappling and stuff like that, it taught people lessons when they wrestled him. They're oh fuck, there's no way someone wrestled Regal and didn't come out of the match going, dude, you showed me so many different things there. Unfortunately I did not appreciate him in 93. I'm not gonna lie and be no, I've been a Regal fan in WCW.
Yeah, of course.
He was boring as shit in WCW because that's just the way they booked him and that's the way it was. But when he got to WWF and he got over his addiction the first time, he relapsed a couple times, but when he got really good in 2000, 2001, 2002, you were just God, Regal is actually really good. He's very good in there.
Full of beauty and natural wonder. Fresh air, blue skies, tall trees, A lesser human might be humbled by its grandeur. But not this man. There's not a tree in the forest he can't cut down to size. Meet Stephen Regal. A man.
Flows like water.
Yeah.
Like Randy Orton. Flows like water.
And now, I mean, fast forward to today, he's a mentor and doing a lot of great things in the back for these young guys now. So, you know.
No, yeah, he's a big part. He's like the on-air commissioner of NXT, but like he teaches the guys in the background too, and I think that's awesome. Like I really do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, you know, and like I said, we love Regal. We're a fan, and we like what he does for the youngins in the back now. And on that note, guys, I think we're going to end it here. As always, you can reach us at Instagram at O.W.P 2019, SoundCloud at Our Wrestling Podcast, YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel, or you could download WrestlePost. It's an app at no charge to you, and join us along with other great podcasts of the day. This is Dave along with Jess and Cuz of the O.W.P signing off. Have a good one.
Peace.
Hey, brother.
Brother.